I think pretty much all of you know that I'm Kate, and this is Beth. We're Karen's daughters. But in case we haven't met, thank you again so much for being here. I hope you've helped yourselves to some food and a drink. We've got some Pim's Cup cocktails back there. That was Mom's favorite cocktail. So if you haven't had one, oh, never mind. The bartender says we're out. I hope you got one.
There's bubbly.
That's tastiest fruit salad, and you're over 21. See you, man. Anyway, thank you for coming, and thank you for braving a memorial service in a barn, which may or may not be unusual, but I think most of you know that Mom would not have wanted to be anywhere else. And thank you to those of you who helped pull this all together. To Sam, the piano man. Sam plays at Ashland Villa, where Mom was in assisted living. He plays there every Tuesday at lunchtime. And it was Mom's favorite time of the week, and if you went to go visit her on Tuesdays at lunch, that was fine, but you better not talk, because Sam was playing, and you needed to shut up. Anyway, so thank you, Sam, for coming and joining us today. We really appreciate it. So a little bit about Mom, from my perspective and from Beth's, depending on how she ends up feeling about it. Mom was born in Wichita, Kansas, March 5th, 1950.
Yep. That's the one.
She was born just a couple minutes before 6 o'clock in the morning. And so shortly after she was born, all the church bells started to ring. And her father was just so excited that they were ringing all the church bells to celebrate his daughter's birth. Someone later told him that it was a Catholic hospital and that they were actually just calling all the sisters to morning mass. But he thought it was an exciting beginning. They moved when she was little. They moved to Midland, Texas for a little while, and that's where her younger brother, Bob, was born, and then ended up back in Wichita again. My grandfather started the whole horse thing. Yeah, this is all his fault. All of it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's blame. We all blame him. His name was Robert Watson Franklin White.
Whoa. Didn't know all that.
Yeah, well, I can explain all of that. I could go into long family history. Don't ask me too many questions or we'll be here all night. Anyway, but he was always into horses, and so it didn't take long at all for him to buy Mom her first pony. And there are pictures of, there we go. Yes. No, not Topper. I can't remember. What was the pony's name?
I wanted to say Beulah, but that's Nami's.
No, Beulah was our grandmother's first pony.
I cannot remember the pony's name.
I can't remember the pony's name. But anyway, there's the pony. And then it didn't take long for them to get into American saddlebred horses. And by the time Mom was in high school, she and my grandfather had a training barn and a lesson program in the backyard. And my mother went home from school, in high school, went home from school and taught riding lessons all afternoon to all the neighborhood kids. And several of whom were friends of hers to the end, and I'm sorry that they weren't able to be here with us today. And then when she graduated from Wichita Southeast in 1968, and then she went to William Woods College. Yes. Oh wait, I have to tell the whole story. She went to Lindenwood University in St. Louis first, And then there was this hotshot young professor that was starting at William Woods University, and she was determined to up the game on the William Woods equestrian program, and so she had to go out and dig up all the best riders from all over the country to come to William Woods. So she dug up Mom and got Mom to come from Lindenwood over to William Woods. And that, of course, is Miss Gail Lambie, who's sitting here in the, when Mom was in college, she also had horses with Dale and Glenda Pugh, who had a barn in New Bloomfield near Fulton. And she had a whole lot of very successful show horses, including Rob Schreiber, and one at the Royal and at Louisville, and all the places. There's a picture in one of these photo albums somewhere of Mom standing in front of the Pine Lawn Farm curtains with this like mountain of trophies. Mountain of trophies. I'm like, wow. I mean, I knew they were good, but wow. That's of course back then. That was back when trophies were like this tall on the ground. So the mountain, the little ones we win nowadays, not so mountainous. But anyway, here, you want to pick up on the story?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got us at William Woods. From William Woods, she went back to Wichita. She did actually end up in the St. Louis area for a time as a professional horse trainer, but then spent a good bit of time in Wichita where she had us and started another generation of horse folks. And so she lived in Wichita. She was really involved with one other sort of thing that a lot of folks who are the horse side of the family are going to be less familiar with, but she was really involved with Wichita Theater Organ. She served as its sort of manager for decades, and wrote a cookbook that remains sort of a deeply important part of our family lore, and you'll see nodding from like Kate's and my friends because we all received a copy, and it was like a moment to be given your copy of the cookbook.
We should be having like a silent auction because I found like 3 more copies.
I think
we thought we were out, and I found a few
4 or 5
more copies left.
So yes, if anybody, it's a race.
That's right.
For the cookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave you guys it. See?
Well,
we'll keep it. Yes, we'll make sure you get it.
I was saying Michelle was the cook at Ashland Villa, who was a wonderful friend of Mom's, so we will make sure you get a cookbook. She lived in Wichita until after our grandparents had both passed away, and then moved to the Columbia, Missouri area in 2007 in April when she bought her farm. She had taken some time off from the horses when we were really little, but by the time we were teenagers and we were into it, she also rejoined us, and we had a tradition of passing horses through the 3 of us, actually. Kate started, then me, then Mom. And so she relocated here so that she could have her horses and be closer to her horse people. So she lived on a 10-acre farm with 6 stalls and eventually 1 million horses. And it was on said farm that Kate's program, Lionheart Riding Academy, began, and now we are in its new iteration. And so they had that together, and Mom cleaned stalls, she groomed horses, she cared for chickens, she yelled at children about their diagonals, possibly at an inappropriate volume.
Possibly using inappropriate language.
But she was our barn matriarch, for sure. And she lived on that farm until last June when she moved to Ashland Villa. So she has been a horse lady in and out all the way through. Are there further things that I'm forgetting? We didn't script this, in case you can't tell.
Yeah, no, totally off the cuff right here. Totally off the cuff.
Here we are.
No, I think that pretty much. I think that pretty much sums up our end of things. So we would love to hear some of your stories about her. Allison, you got to get up here and tell the Peepers story at some point. I'm looking at you. Okay, good. But we also have Betsy and I will pop back up a couple times, and we have some stories that people who weren't able to come have sent us, and they'd like us to read them for you. So, anyway, would anyone like to? Okay, Megan, Steve. Oh, Miss Lacey.